first hunt of the year. I'm going to bow hunt today and tomorrow with my new crossbow. I've got me a new crossbow, a new Vortex rangefinder. I got new Vortex binoculars. And I just got into my spot. And I have another tree stand up there. And I'm watching a saddle comes across the rim rock. And there's turkeys up in there like crazy. Hens have been fighting. But I didn't jump any deer coming in here, which rarely happens. This is the worst stand I have for jumping deer on the way in. That's because deer are here a lot. But I'm going to settle in and hope that a doe comes in, mostly after a doe, because it's in Ernebach County. I like to go ahead and get my doe out of the way with a bow. And so I'm hoping a doe comes within 40 yards. Granted, this crossbow will shoot definitely out to 60, but I don't have it tweaked up right where I feel comfortable with that right yet. But anything 30 to 40 yards is going to be in a hurt locker. I haven't been sitting here in no time. Those turkeys done come down here, and they are all over, all up in there, all up in there. There's a pretty tight group just out of sight right over the lip. They're going to be within bow range when they come through. But I don't see any gobblers. I don't think I'd sling an arrow at anything unless it was a gobbler. But I believe there's at least 30 hens up there. These turkeys are 20 yards. $15 yards. Let me see a beard hanging from one and I'll sling a bolt. There's still more up on the ridge, but I think they're all hens. I'm kind of discouraged after my first morning sit with my crossbow here on Halloween. I didn't see anything but squirrels and turkeys. No deer at all, not hide nor hair of a deer. But as I'm coming out, I see this. This was not here the last time I was in here. And that's a really good size rub for my neck of the woods. So, you go from being kind of discouraged to, okay, I'll be in here tomorrow. All right, this here's a rope that I put up right here on the property line. It's a clear cut that's done, grew up just big enough to be super thick, major security cover when pressure gets on for hunting season. I've already got some good stuff here of critters coming through because there's just acorns everywhere in this area, like just all over the place. But I got my camera right up there. Got the camera right there, and I'm pretty excited for what this spot will be able to do for me. I got a stand that overlooks this. It's about, I don't know, probably about 45 yards away up at the top of the hill. And so with the Road coming up, field over the edge, creek down in the bottom, security cover right here, acorns everywhere. The edge of two different types of environments as far as being thick, and then hardwoods and then fields. Exactly, three different areas here come together. So I got a pretty good feeling about this spot. I might even bow hunt it tomorrow. Hey everyone, so I'm in the spot. I've been here since before daylight. It's just now getting shooting light. Woods are starting to wake up. Acorns are starting to fall. I'm up on top of this knoll. Acorns everywhere. Got squirrels that are chasing each other down here, and I already hear turkeys doing their tree yelps down over the hill here. But I'm sitting in a really cool spot. A stand that I just set a couple weeks ago, specifically for bow hunting. But let me show you the spot. Alright, so I'm facing a fence line down here. That all this is just covered with acorns. But that is a giant clear cut that's gotten old enough to get very thick. Tremendous security cover for deer. But it's huge, it goes all the way out. I got a road that comes up here. I got the fence line that comes up here. There's something exciting about hunting the edges of stuff because you just never know when something's going to pop out of it. But I've got field edge. Everything out to that rock out there is 40 yards. So that tree down there, I can actually shoot at 55. And then you've got this whole field edge here that comes up. I love hunting the edge of habitat and having hardwoods to field separated by fence, and then having clear cut to hardwoods. I love the idea of hunting two different edges from one spot. So I have a trail camera down there on a rope, and it's been getting video of two different 11 pointers. One is a typical like even frame 10, 5 on one side, 5 on the other. But on the right beam, he has a spike, a scoreable size spike that comes off the bottom of his right beam. And then the other is 7 on one side, 5 on the other, a buck I've got a few years of history with. He was a 12 pointer at 2 years of age. Real skinny, tight rack little thing. But he's always been 6 on one side, 6 on the other till this year. It's gotten windy. Well, I just found my first buck made scrape. It's in a really cool spot. We'll set some cameras on this tomorrow. Alright, it's day 3, first day of muzzleloader season. On a different property, further north from where I've been hunting, higher elevation. A lot colder this morning, 36 degrees versus yesterday morning it was 67. So, as I'm coming in, I've already done better than the last 2 days. I actually saw 4 deer going across the top in the skyline. I couldn't say exactly what they were, probably does. I mean, they may have been a buck and 3 does, but I couldn't quite tell. But I snuck on in, got set up. The sun's just now hitting the ridge good. See what'll happen. I've been here on this property all morning. It's my old stomping grounds. I saw 4 deer up in the skyline early this morning. Looked like all does. If one was a buck, it didn't have much antlers on it, but I saw one coyote come bounding through, and then I had one single gobbler come down off the ridge. But that's it. That's all I've seen today. I haven't found not one rub, not one scrape, nothing. So just now pulling camera cards for the first time this year off this property, so I'm hoping to see something on there. But just came across my first sign being a deer bed. And that's all I have found so far. I got one more camera to check or to pull the card off of, and then I'm heading home. Well, I'm in here at the pear trees, and there is literally bear crap everywhere I look. I've done stepped in it several times. There's some there at the base of that. A couple, that's actually from eating these pears. Another giant pile of it. Some more of it there. Just all over the place. Like, I found this on my way in, so I just put it there for some eye appeal. I'm sure coyotes are coming in here. Still a few pears left to fall. So I'm got the cameras back up and running. Both of them had their batteries nearly tapped. It was down to just 20. There's another big pile of it. About 25% of their battery life. So I got them back up and running for what pears are left. I'm gonna sit up here underneath this cedar tree and have lunch. Alright, so it's second day of muzzleloader season, my 4th straight day of hunting, and it's about 8 o'clock and I haven't seen hide nor hair of a deer. It was 37 degrees when I got in here, so I like this cold weather. I just like for it to actually get a little colder, but I'm in a real pretty spot. Anything can happen at any time, so I'm gonna sit here and see if I can get something to come by. Well, I just finished videotaping some turkeys. They're still right there, going up into the woods. And so focused on videoing the turkeys, I didn't even notice I've got my second deer-made scrape that I have found. You know, legit scrape. You can see we bent the pine branch just a little bit, but that's fresh. I didn't notice that last time I come through here. And it's literally right in the trail, so that's pretty cool to see scrapes starting to open up. Alright everybody, so just to share my hunt this morning, this is the third day of muzzleloader season, my 5th straight day hunting, because I hunted the last 2 days of bow. And I just have not had any luck on, this is my favorite farm, it's the most beautiful property that I hunt. I'd gotten a lot of video prior to October of just a lot of good deer in here, and I come in here this morning, and I'm in just coming in the shooting line. I was a little bit late coming in this morning, and as I'm coming up the ridge here, let me show you. As I'm coming up the ridge here, there's deer up near my vertical scrape branch up there. There's a mama and a baby, and they see me coming out of the field down there, and so they kind of flag, but they stop right at the edge of the laurel. And they stand there for a while, so I kind of waited them out to tiptoe into the laurel. I knew they wasn't super scared. So I come on in, and I decided not to go into my tree stand because I knew they were in that laurel, and I just didn't want to climb up in there and possibly bump them all the way up over the ridge. I like to keep deer in the area. So I decided just to sit on the ground down here in kind of a backup spot that I have. I had just kind of brushed in, and so I'm just sitting there, and nothing but squirrels this morning. There's rubs all over this ridge, but nothing but squirrels this morning. And then I finally hear something that doesn't sound like a squirrel for just no time at all. I mean, before I glance up and realize where the sound's coming from, and it's coming from way up at that dark log way up in there. Which is really what I like to overlook when I'm in my tree stand, is that bowl up in there. And it's coming from up there. If I'd been in my tree stand, I'd have seen a lot more. But I thought I saw a buck behind the log, and then all of a sudden I see a deer duck under the log, and then I have another deer coming from left to right in front of the deer. So I don't know if it's 2 bucks harassing a doe, which you just don't usually see that, or if it was, just so much jockeying going on up there, kind of, because all they had to do was be a little bit to the left, and I couldn't see them, and they were just jockeying positions. But when the buck, I saw a basket rack on the buck. I did not get a chance to size them up very good at all, but it's a first tag. Anything 4 points on one side, I'm okay with. So I saw it was a basket rack buck, and he was going from left to right. He actually was coming. He hadn't actually hit the creek yet, but you could tell he was flanking her. And when they flank a doe, and the doe's on the opposite side of the buck, if she's on this side and he's flanking her, I would have just took a chance on them coming closer. But she's on the opposite side of him where I can't see him, and he's obviously flanking her. So odds are she's going to push away from him, and then he's going to disappear. So I didn't have long to decide what I was going to do. There's a fence here, but it doesn't represent the property line. All that's still part of the farm. The farmer just doesn't want the cows up that high in the woods. But I knew it was kind of now or never, and I haven't taken a poke at a deer that long. I don't know if ever. It might be my longest shot. If not, I don't remember one longer. But I hit him. I knew I'd hit him right off the bat. I mean, when the smoke cleared and he was still standing there kind of staggering around, I got the big camera going. And he just staggered around for just a second, and then I don't know if he fell and got back up and staggered, or if he was just staggering the whole time. But he was staggering around and went down and just couldn't get back up. So he should just be right over here. Might be a little hard to find. So there's the log there. There he is. No, we're heading right for him. I hope he's a good one. He's got to be a good one, but oh, I'm tangled up in greenbrier. Let's just say I hope he's one I recognize from my cams. He don't got much for mass. Yeah, he's not much at all. He's got that 4 points on one side. Yeah, I was hoping he's going to be a little better than that. And the thing is, I don't recognize this buck. Like, I don't know that I have video of a buck that's messed up his antler like that. Yeah, I don't know it. I'd have to go back and look. See, his right beam was to me, and his right beam doesn't look that bad. I can't help but think that the first buck I saw was bigger than that. The first deer that I saw just looked way bigger than that. There may have been two of them harassing. He's got that right there, which would be scoreable. He's got he's got a broke here, but he might be scoreable there. Pretty sure he is. So it'd still be an 8 point, but I don't know if he just hit this right here on the rocks or not, but it's broke. He may have, when he was falling, hit some rocks here. But yeah, he's not all that. But I told myself this year I'm just going to shoot deer that make me happy. I'm not going to worry about holding out for size or giant deer or anything like that. Just enjoy being in the woods. And the landowner actually asked me yesterday for some deer meat, so I'll be able to get that done. Alright, so I know I didn't get that shot on video, but so I'm sitting here and I'm eating, and I just finished checking in my buck. And I sent some pictures to the Hodgepodge group, a text message group we've got. Well, there's actually I might see my deer down. So I'm sitting here eating them way up there at the same daggone log where they were at before. I see a deer come through, and I couldn't tell what it was. And then I see another deer, and I could tell it was a doe, a full-grown doe. And I shot, and right after I shot, the doe started making bellowing noises, like really loud bellowing noises. So I hit the record. I don't know if it picked up on the GoPro or not, but I know I've got one hit. I'm going to have to reload and tiptoe up there and see what's going on, but I know I've got one hit. You know, I'm allowed 2 a day, just one antlered, and I'm in an Ernebuck County, so I have to kill a doe in this county before I can kill another buck. So I wasn't going to pass up that opportunity, even though that was a poke. Actually longer than where I shot the buck. But I've got this muzzleloader really tapped in. This is a Thompson Center Encore, and it reaches out there. I actually shot it yesterday evening. It was just dead bullseye. So I'm going to get reloaded and tiptoe up there and see what we got. Yeah, it definitely looks like a deer laying there. I think I got her. I think I dropped her 5 feet. My buck's still laying down there in the kill site. I haven't even moved it yet. Heck, I just checked the thing in. I ate me a quick snack before I was going to get my hands all messed up from field dressing it. Checked in a deer while I was eating my snack, and next thing you know, more deer coming through. So much wood up there. I don't know, that might be a deer there. I can't quite tell. Okay, so there goes one running right there. Actually cleared off this spot. I was going to sit here in a few days. There's my buck. I was going to sit here in a few days. See, same place where it dropped. I did the hero pick. And then right up here at the same log. Let's go up and see what we got here. Right there's him. And I can see her laying up there. Heads down, not moving. I knew I had put a pretty hard hit on it because it bellowed out. Which I haven't had a deer do that like that. Shoo. I don't know. It's been a while. Like since I was a teenager. But so it's been a long while. But I knew I'd hit her. Again, this shot was farther than the shot I made on the buck. Taking long shots today. Dang, hit her in the exact same spot as I hit the buck. The exact same spot. Almost same angle. Evidently it's deceptive as to how much they're quartering away. When they're coming left to right, they're quartering away a lot. But, boom, man. That is awesome. All that up in there turns into laurel and heavy bedding all the way up to the rim rock. Beautiful open ridge down here to the left. It's just full of acorns. In fact, up on the point, there's a white oak up there that's dropping acorns, sound like golf balls hitting the ground. Then you got this pocket right here that comes into just a little bit more laurel on a finger point, but not a lot. It's just but it's real rocky, and there's a steep point right there that you can't quite see. But it's really steep. So when they come out of this, it's like a funnel. In fact, I think I'm going to call this place the Fatal Funnel. Because when you come down through here, that's a term from work-related training, but when they come down through here, they're wanting to get out here to, there's a field, big field out yonder, and then there's a really overgrown clear cut back here, just, I mean, super overgrown. I think it's probably 8 years old, 9 years old, so it's just gotten super thick and gnarly. But there's a big clear cut over here, big field over here. Just open ridge of acorns down here, real thick bedding cover up in here, and this is like a fatal funnel for them to come through. Coming up here to get my deer down off the ridge, and I never come up this point this way ever while hunting or anything. Again, I kind of stay away from the fatal funnel, and this is just an area that I just stay away from. I want the deer to have an area that they feel safe in. They don't smell a lot of human odor or have a lot of encroachment. The farmer doesn't come over here very often, so it's kind of the perfect place. But everywhere I look, there's rubs. I mean, all down, there's a really nice one down in the bottom down there. But they're just all over. This one here's not the biggest in the world, but it's been wore out pretty good over the years. But yeah, there's all kinds of rubs in here. A deer laying right there. Drag them down off this hill, get them on a truck.